Community Pay It Forward isn't just another rewards program. It's a movement built on compassion and connection. We link everyday businesses, nonprofits, and neighbors so simple actions like buying lunch, getting your car fixed, or hiring a service can create lasting impact. When you choose one of our giving partners, part of your purchase goes directly to families, veterans, children, or community missions in need. It doesn't cost you a dime more. It just means your purchases matter. Because here, every transaction tells a story. And our belief is simple. If you're not helping someone, you're hurting everyone. Because at Community Pay It Forward, no one needs to go it alone when we all come together.
Hey friends, I've been thinking, we all have our strengths, right? There are things I'm great at and things I'm definitely not great at. I can talk to anyone, anywhere, but ask me to add something to a website or an app. Yeah, that's where things get a little messy. Oops, I love speaking, I love sharing stories. But social media, all those hashtags, algorithms, trends, that's a jungle I still haven't mapped out. Now, coming up with ideas that bring people together, that's my sweet spot. But bookkeeping, let's just say numbers, and I have agreed to stay in separate corners. And you know what? That's okay, because someone out there is good at those things. And when we work together, that's when the magic happens. Community Pay It Forward has never been about one person. It's a program built by many to support even more. Every single one of us brings something special to the table. We all have talents that make us strong on our own. But imagine how powerful we become when we combine them. That's the heart of Community Pay It Forward. Your skills, my skills, our hearts, working side by side to make a real difference. So tell me, what are you good at? Let's discover it together. Visit communitypayitforward.us and join the movement. Hey friends, I've been thinking, we all
Well, would you look at that? I finally got something done. I've been saying I needed to update the opening. Finally. Wanted to. I guess it's not bad, right? But I mean, that means that I have at least a couple more days until we get to Wednesday. And this Wednesday, by the way, please make sure that you join us for Mr. Les Simpson. He's going to be joining us again. And speaking of that, we are looking to build a team that is going to join Les in his program. And what we're looking for are people who lead groups. People who have sales. They lead a group of salespeople, or they have teams underneath them of people who sell things. And what this is about is it helps you get into the mindset of understanding an ultra, an ultra passionate connection between you and your customer. What makes you what is it about the way I do things that attracts you into what we're doing? How can I make sure that I continue to keep good service going? But these are things that, you're going to be able to ask your client or your customer, and it's going to reassure that they want to stick with you because you're going to have a connection like they've really never felt. It's not new, and it's not fancy. It's teaching in a way that we should have been taught. It's a way that schools, he teaches you in a way that schools failed. Schools tried to throw a bunch of stuff at you, and what stuck, and what didn't. Guess what, folks? Not a lot stuck. We don't remember things from school. We don't. We remember things from lived experiences, and we learn because of what we love. Well, Les has a wonderful program that can help us. And I'm looking for 5 people to join me and on this program, and together, and we can take this program together, and you can join us, and we can go through this together. We can have fun together. We can learn some stuff together, and then we can spread the word about how, because of the way that we were able to learn, we were able to succeed. So I'm looking forward to doing this. It's 2 days. The class is 2 days. You get a ton from it. So you want to learn more about it, join us Wednesday at 8 o'clock East, right here on the pACT channels. pACT Podcasting Network. Sorry. I need one of those electric buzzers that every time I say something wrong, I can shock myself. But then again, I'd probably sit on the thing and be shocking me all the time. I'd short it out, something like that. So, folks, today we're going to go through the Celebration of Spirit. We recorded it on Wednesday night. And, of course, I recorded it as I was sitting there and talking into a microphone that had a little red light blinking, because when I pulled the microphone towards me, I hit the mute button on the microphone. So for the first 30 minutes that I was sitting there talking, all you saw was me laughing at myself. There's a reason why I like recording these things. Well, besides that, right now, I'm at the doctor, so I couldn't be here. But yeah, we're going to replay Celebration of Spirit for April. I hope everyone had a wonderful Easter. All of you who celebrate, I hope you had a wonderful Easter, and Good Friday, and everything else that we've already missed. There are 2 rules on the Celebration of Spirit. You don't get mad, and you educate. If we miss something, tell us. If there is something that I mispronounce, in which, spoiler alert, there is, don't get mad, educate. Tell me how to say it, instruct me on how to say it, and I will change it, and I will make a commitment to changing it right away. So, but we're going to start this with Celebration of Spirit, then we're going to go into Safer Cleaner Water with Mark Miller, wonderful, wonderful giving partner. You will, for both of our giving partners, you will see their logo in place of the footprints forward up here. So if you want to go to their page and get any of their information, all you have to do is follow that QR code. It'll take you to their page on our website. You'll be able to contact them. Or you can always reach out to me at Zach@communitypayitforward.us. That's Zach@communitypayitforward.us. Just reach out to me and say, hey, Zach, I saw Mark Miller. I saw Lynn. Can you introduce me? I'd like to meet him. I'll make that happen. 2 things We are in desperate need of a volunteer for people who understand the mobile app game. For the life of me, I struggle to get it figured out, and our mobile app is now down. And I need help to get it back up, and I need help to get it back up immediately. So I am begging for someone who is willing to give up anywhere from 5 to, at most 15 hours a month. I mean, seriously, I don't see why 5 hours a month you couldn't just add the stuff in that we need added, remove stuff we need removed, and make sure it's functioning correctly. If somebody could help us out with that, contact me at Zach at communitypayitforward.us. That's ZAK at communitypayitforward.us. My phone number is also on here, but please, please, please remember to text me before you call me, because I cannot pick up the phone and answer it all the time. First off, because I forget to turn the volume back on and I miss phone calls. I went to go clear my phone the other day. I had 40 missed calls. Of course, 38 of them were the people who had already accepted my business for a new business loan of up to $50,000. Not my business, they didn't. So, but please text me before you call me. We can make plans to where we can talk in a comfortable setting. So, but we need somebody immediately who understands the app and can help us get that up and running. And there's 2 options. Once we get this kicked off and we get the app moving smoothly, we can get you to stay on. That's hopefully the end goal. Or you teach me how to do it and you just move on to what you need to do. You'll always be a hero to the program. You'll always be commemorated in the program. You'll always be a you'll always be a community partner, because if you can get us working, we need you. We need your help badly. The second thing is, I'm going to put up this wonderful little QR code. I need you to use it. Every dollar is a space on the wheel of giving. What, pray tell, are we giving away? Well, let me show you. We just added in this wonderful if-then book from Aaron Antavi. And that is a hand-painted magic wand. Aaron specializes in the neurodivergent world. She deals in development and helping people through neurodivergent issues, and some of the rules and regulations that we should know, and some of the things that we should do to help others. She is a wonderful, wonderful person. We intended on spending 30 minutes together. We ended up spending over 2 hours together on a conversation. And then you'll also see, I'm going ahead and take that QR code down a little bit. You will see the beautiful blanket that Dignified Dementia has donated, and they have given to us to raise some money. This is all to raise money for the Come Together Compass. Let me see there it is, the Come Together Compass. Look, you guys have heard me talking about the Come Together Compass. It is something that is going to be very special. It is going to be something that is there for everyone. It is going to be the easiest way that every day of our lives we can make a difference in someone's life. Every day we can make a difference in someone's life. Whether it's using Community Pay It Forward to make your purchases count, or using the Come Together Compass to help someone immediately. We're close. If you would donate today and you would help us get the compass built, we can start doing things at much quicker. Let's just put it that way. So please donate all you can. Help us out. Little warning, I come on hot on the microphone on this video. So if you are listening loud right now, you might want to turn it down first because it does come on a little bit hot. Somebody doesn't know how to use a microphone yet. I mean, he's only been doing this for 4 years now, and he doesn't know how to use a microphone yet. The other day for 30 minutes, like I said, I went to go pull the microphone towards me. My thumb hit this button. Because it was on pause, that's what people saw for over 30 minutes. And I was telling some great jokes. I was not missing a beat. I was just, it was the best segment I ever recorded. Partly because you didn't hear a damn thing I said. We'll just go with that, all right? I was screwing up so bad. I had so many technical issues on Wednesday. It was terrible. Again, we are recorded today. I am at a doctor's appointment right now for this thing. The entire this thing. Hopefully we're going to decide when to cut it off. That way it doesn't cause me any more problems. But if you have any questions, get a hold of me. All of my information's on the bottom here. Please enjoy the celebration of seasons for April. Again, don't get mad, educate. If you celebrate any of these, call me. I would love to see the celebration of any of these things. I would love to know. I'd love to learn about what I'm talking about. I'll never conform to your religion. I am just telling you right now, I'm never going to conform to your religion. But I will love to respect what you do. And the best way to respect what you do is to see what you do. So invite me. I'd love to come with you. As long as everyone's comfortable with me being there, I would love to be there and learn about it. So here is Celebration of the Spirit for April. Please remember, like, share, subscribe, comment. Get with us because we need you here. Celebration of Spirit for April. Hey there, everyone. How's it going? Welcome to Wednesday night. Welcome to Community Impact. My name is Zach Clayton, President and Founder, Community Pay It Forward, the Come Together Compass, and the pACT Podcasting Networks. We are doing things a little bit different because you know what? Well, we've got holidays that are starting this immediately. Friday, So usually we do these at the very beginning of the week with Footprints Forward, but we're going to do this celebration of spirit tonight on right here on Community Impact. And this also gives you a chance to see the first show every month we take and we celebrate what you celebrate out there. It's not just for Christians. It's not just for, this is for everybody. And what we try to do is we try to put it out there. And I talk in a very poor enunciation of a lot of these names, but we talk about it. We at least discuss it so people can know it's out there. I ask for a couple things from you. One, don't get mad, educate. If I miss something, don't get mad, educate. If I mispronounce something or if I leave something off, don't get mad, educate. Reach out to me, get a hold of me. And if you get a hold of me, I will correct it. I'll correct it right here on our very next show after you tell me. So we're doing this for every month because I want to make sure that everyone knows what is out there to be celebrated. Because all of us have the right to celebrate. All of us have the right to be celebrated. So I would like to welcome you to the April celebrations of Spirit. We're going to be doing things a little bit different right now. We're going to go by religion. Which is something a little bit different. And these are in no particular order. Okay? This is not of importance to me or anything. Partly because when it comes to religion, there is really none that are of importance to me. I am very religion curious. I'm interested in all religions, all of them. So I see problems with all religions. I see good things with all religions. I see people being absolutely crazy with all religions, you know. And look, the truth is that there's a lot of good in religions, but then there's also problems. So we are going to talk about everything that we see. All right, everything that we can find. Again, don't get mad, educate. So again, this is for April. This is the first year we've been doing this. This is the fourth time, of course, because it's the fourth month. And April is a month of renewal, remembrance, liberation, and rebirth. Around the world, people of every faith and of every belief pause to honor their history, their ancestors, their victories, and their hopes for the future. Tonight, we celebrate the beauty of diversity. We celebrate the stories that shape us. And we celebrate the truth that every tradition carries wisdom worth honoring. Let's walk through the celebrations of April with respect, curiosity, and gratitude. This month, in Judaism, many Jewish families gather for Passover, which is also known as Pesach. Passover commemorates the liberation of the Israelis from slavery in Egypt. It's a story of courage, justice, and the belief that freedom is a sacred right. I am so sorry about that. Sacred Reich is one of my favorite metal bands of all the time, and it just kind of slipped out right there. So, not Sacred Reich, Sacred Right. So, again, that statement is the belief that freedom is a sacred right. Families come together for the Seder meal, where symbolic foods, prayers, and storytelling guide everyone through the journey from bondage to freedom. It is a reminder that no one should ever be left behind in suffering. Something we like to celebrate here at Community Pay It Forward. And that liberation is a responsibility shared by all. April in Christianity. For many Christians, April is a heart of Holy Week. April is the heart of the Holy Week. And Easter. This is the story of sacrifice, love, and renewal. Holy Thursday honors the Last Supper. Good Friday remembers the crucifixion. And Easter Sunday celebrates the resurrection of Jesus Christ, a moment that symbolizes hope, forgiveness, and new beginnings. Churches hold sunrise services, families gather for meals, and communities come together to celebrate the promise of a life restored. This is one of them that, of course, I've always celebrated. And I know that for so many, this is the most important holiday there is in the Christian belief. I know for a fact that in my family it was always very important because of what it means. April for Hinduism. Many Hindu communities celebrate Rama Navami. This day honors the birth of the Lord Rama, a symbol of righteousness, courage, and moral leadership.
Families fast, temples hold celebrations, and the Ramayan is recited to remind us everyone in the power of virtue and the importance of standing for what is right. Please, don't get mad, educate. Contact me right here, this little QR code. Contact me and say, hey, Zach, would you like to see what this is? I'll go with you. I'll meet you. I'd love to see what all of these celebrations are. I'd love to see how families celebrate. I don't care. I will be very respectful. I really want to see what this is all about. Sikhism. April begins Vesaki, also known as Baha'i, one of the most important Sikh celebrations. Vesaki remarks the founding of the Khalisi by Guru Gobind Singh in 1699. It's a celebration of identity, courage, and service. Communities gather for processions called Nagar Kirtans. Langar meals are shared with everyone, regardless of background. It's a living example of equality and unity in action. Again, I would love to see this in action. So if you're in Colorado anywhere and you hear this, if you would like to invite me virtually, I would love to join you virtually and watch what you do, how you celebrate. That would be great. I would love it. April also includes several Gurpurabs, honoring the lives and teaching of the Sikh gurus. Each one is a reminder of leadership rooted in compassion and injustice. The Baha'i faith. Community begins April with the Feast of Jalal, a gathering focused on unity, reflection, and spiritual growth. Later in the month comes Ramadan, beginning on April 21st. Ramadan is the holiest festival in the Baha'i calendar. It commemorates the moment that Baha'u'llah declared his mission. Please educate me, please. It's a celebration of peace, equality, and the belief that humanity is one family. Love it. Islam, depending on the lunar calendar, April may include Ramadan or Eid al-Fitr. When Ramadan falls in April, Muslims around the world fast from sunrise to sunset, focusing on gratitude, discipline, and compassion. When Eid al-Fitr arrives, it's joyful celebration of community, generosity, and spiritual renewal. Families gather, meals are shared, and acts of charity are encouraged. Zoroastrianism. They observe Adar Ma Parab in April, a celebration of warmth, light, and the sacred household fire. It is a moment to honor the presence of goodness and purity in daily life. Later in the month comes Zoroastrian, Zaratost, no disco, disso, sorry, no Zoroast, no disso, a day of remembrance for the prophet Zoroaster, and I'm going to say it probably has nothing to do with disco. It's a time of reflection, gratitude, and commitment to truth and righteousness. Rastafarianism. April 21st is Groundation Day. This day honors the historic visit of the Emperor Haile Selassie the first to Jamaica in 1966. For Rastafarians, this moment represents unity, affirmation, and spiritual awakening. It's a celebration with music, gatherings, and expressions of faith and culture. April in Buddhism. In many Buddhist communities, April begins the new year. This is a celebration. This celebration varies by region, but it's always centered on cleansing, renewal, and compassion. Water festivals, temple visits, and acts of kindness mark the beginning of a fresh spiritual cycle. I remember going to Shambhala here in Colorado and visiting the temple, and it was one of the neatest experiences I ever had. And it was so weird that we were just walking around, we were taking it in. The people were as friendly as you could be. They really were. And we were just walking by. They were inviting us in for meals and stuff like that. And we kindly declined. But I have an issue with eating in places I just don't know. And plus we had people back at the camp waiting for us to come back, and we were going to eat then. And we were sitting there, we were talking, and all of a sudden I felt this like thing just kind of playing with my fingers, and I was thinking maybe it was one of the kids that were with us at the time. And so I'm sitting there, and, I start, twiddling my fingers back, thinking it was just a kid, I was just talking to somebody, and I just do that. And all of a sudden I look down. It was a little deer. It was just kind of lipping on my finger. And I was like, what in the holy hell? So I didn't know what to do. So I went to go pet it on the head, and I pet this deer, and I'm like, am I in a petting zoo? What happened here? No, but it was just really neat. It is scary. It's scary for that animal, because that animal is so used to people, and now unfortunately someday it's probably well gone by now. This was over 13 years ago, so it's most likely gone. Hopefully it stayed in that compound and nothing ever happened to it. But it was just one of the coolest things that I've ever seen. Definitely one of the most shocking things that have ever happened to me. In Chinese traditions, April 4th is the Qingming Festival, also known as the Pure Brightness Festival. Families visit graves of their ancestors, clean the sites, and offer food and incense. It's a day of remembrance, gratitude, and connection between generations. Kites are flown, meals are shared, and spring is welcomed with joy. That one just warms my heart. Israeli national observance. April includes Yom HaShoah, the Holocaust Remembrance Day. And of course, this is a solemn moment of reflection honoring the 6 million. That number is still stunning. Jewish lives lost in Israel. Sirens sound across the nation, and people stop in place and stand in silence. Around the world, names are read, stories are shared, and the comment to never again is renewed. Later in the month comes Yom Hazumat, Israeli Independence Day. It's a celebration which fireworks, music, and gatherings that honor resilience, identity, and national pride. Okay, I'm going to say this. I am unhappy with what's going on in the Middle East right now. Like a lot of people, I don't cry for the leader that's gone, but I do cry for the millions and millions of people who are without homes. I feel for the kids that lost their lives needlessly and recklessly. I'm not going to stop talking about celebrations just because we don't get along with the leaders at this moment. Because I truly believe that people in general are good. And people deserve to be celebrated. So, what happened in the Holocaust? As they say right there, never again. It can never be forgotten, and we should never worry about it being repeated. Now, message to all the world leaders. Stop your shit. Come together, figure out how to live together. If it's not yours, leave it alone. Live and let live. Unless people ask you to come, get out of there. Let's stop taking over areas that aren't ours. One man's vision, one man's way of seeing things. April reminds us that the world is filled with stories, liberation, renewal, and remembrance. And hope. Every tradition carries wisdom. Every celebration carries meaning. And every community adds something beautiful to the human family. When we learn about one another, we grow. When we honor one another, we unite. And when we celebrate together, we build a world where no one stands alone. This is the spirit of April. This is the spirit of unity. And this is the spirit of the Come Together Compass, Community Pay It Forward, and the pACT podcasting networks. Coming up, we relive our very first episode with our brand new show with Aviva. I am really... Okay, I'm going to go on ahead and I'm going to stop it now and make sure the microphone and everything's on, because we're not going to relive the show with Aviva, even though I do ask you to go back and watch that show with Aviva, because it did turn out really well. Look, she's going to be with us the fourth Thursday of every month. A Wednesday of every month. Damn it. I got to get my days straight. I really do. So, look, I want to emphasize what I was saying on there, okay? I think we are in a situation, I believe that we are in a situation where our leaders don't ask before they do things. And we're put into a situation where, you know what, because somebody gets a wild hair where that wild hair doesn't need to be, now all of a sudden we're bad guys. People are starting to look at us as Americans in a whole completely different light. And it's no longer just our leader, because we've allowed this to continue. It's not just one man. It's not just one party. There's corruption on all sides. And this is where I take and I pull it around to what we're trying to do here at Community Pay It Forward and with the Come Together Compass. We can lessen the effect that they have on our lives if we take care of each other. I would love nothing more for them to wake up and go, how come nobody's come to us lately? What's going on? Why aren't people treating us like we're important? If they're not important, if we're not needing them for everything in our lives, it's going to change the way that they have to govern. It's going to impact the way that some of these politicians' pockets feel. If we can take care of each other, we can, in effect, hurt them and what happens with them. So let's come together. One other thing that I did mention, there is a war going on. I just got notification that there was an airplane that went down. They rescued one pilot. I don't know what's happened to the other one as of the time of the recording. It's another person who was deployed, who is never coming home. Potentially. Please remember to always wear red on Fridays. This is our last, this is the last Red Friday shirt that we put out. Still one of my favorite shirts. I love it. And we have a new shirt that we designed. Some guy designed, and you'll see my friend Barry back there. Barry is in honor of my uncle, whose statue is right back there. My uncle Barry, who fought in Vietnam and died thanks to the effects of Agent Orange. Barry is all over this shirt because my Uncle Barry is all over my heart. Every Friday, people across the country put on red for one reason: to honor the women and men who left the comfort of home so we can live freely. These shirts are not about politics. They are not about a war. They are not about religion. They are about gratitude. They are about respect. They are about remembering everyone deployed. When you purchase one, you help us launch the Come Together Compass, a program built to guide families and heroes to the support that they need. Wear your pride, wear your gratitude, support Red Friday. Remember everyone deployed.
We're here today to gather some water from our local water source. Now I'm going to go out there and gather some of that water, and then we're going to filter it with this system, and we're going to show you how clean we can make this water. All right, so we're going to put it in this glass. And as you can probably see already, that this water is already crystal clear. It'll just take a few seconds here, and that'll give us enough to do an actual taste test. right, you saw that water. That's what we got out of it after we filtered it. Looks crystal clear, but how does it taste? That tastes pretty good. Matter of fact, it tastes great.
So you have just seen a video about our next guest. His name is Mark Miller. He's a dual partner with us, okay? He's a giving partner, which means if you take and you purchase a unit from him, one of these emergency units from him, he's going to give us $5. A huge portion of that's going to go to the cause of your choice. Now, we're also doing another thing that you can get 2 units for $200. That second unit, you can either donate it to someone that you love, someone you care about, or you can say, guys, find somewhere that needs it, which would really help out Mark and what they are doing with their foundation. And to talk more about Cleaner, Safer Water and, Safer, Cleaner Water and the foundation is my guest. Second time he's been on the show. First in my heart, Mr. Mark Miller. How you doing, Mark?
Doing great. Thank you, Zach.
So you have you would tell us about the foundation before we get started.
Okay. Well, what we have is called UA Legacy Grants, and it is a 501c3 nonprofit entity that's designed that way as far as the way it's structured. And it's to be able to help everybody that has a desire to have pure water for life. They don't have to be in the United States. They can be anywhere in the world. In the United States, we deliver it to your door with everything, including shipping. All you have to do within 10 minutes, open it up, and you'll have pure water for the rest of your life. That's our whole purpose and design, is to make sure that everybody that we can around the world has the ability to have pure water for life.
Now, Mark, just to let everybody know, this is one of the products that we don't just believe in, we use here in this house. We have 3 different water coolers, and we no longer go and buy filtered water. We don't have to. What we do is we take and we fill it up. We fill up the bucket. My wife takes and puts the refillable jars underneath the gravity water. And in less than an hour, we have 5 gallons that goes in there, and it's chilled every day for us to drink here in the house. It tastes wonderful. It's clean. There's none of the chemicals that the city puts in it. It tastes great. And so it's something that we use every day in this house. And one of the things that you guys want to work on, Mark, is making sure that everyone in veteran housing, in homeless shelters, in temporary housing, they have one of these, because fresh water, fresh clean water, that's something that's a huge problem in a lot of areas, right?
Right, absolutely. There's a very, very few places that the water is truly pure, even in the United States. I actually ran across last week a city in West Virginia that 100% of the water was so polluted they can't use it.
And it gets even worse, Mark, when there's a type of natural disaster,
Right.
fires, floods. Floods are the worst, because you get, non-potable water gets mixed in with city drinking water, and it's very dangerous. Tornadoes can rip stuff apart and pollute everything. So it's very, very important that, us having this water, we've already told our neighbors, our entire neighborhood, hey, look, if we ever run into a problem, you guys come to us, because we'll be able to get you water that's not going to harm you. So that's something that, we're thrilled that we got this program. We're thrilled that we got this very simple, easy to use product. Can you tell us what is exactly the Safer Water emergency filtration system?
I will tell you that in just a moment. With what you just said, I will just want to say this. One of the things that happened in the last few months is the thing that happened in Nashville with the floods, etc. After that, I was able to put together with the person that has the largest nonprofit entity in that area and serves a lot of other nonprofits. They began to put together some pre-disaster pallets to get to people in advance of anything, and they utilized our water filtration system for that purpose. We were able to actually start that process with them to create those pre-disaster things. So what we have is a water filtration system that's so simple that anybody can use it. Even if a 5 year old could actually filter water once it's set up. It's so simple. So it's called we refer to it as safer, cleaner water. And what it is a filter that has the ability to take care of you the rest of your life. First of all, it has the filter that has a lifetime guarantee. You never have to buy another filter, and the reason is because it's designed where it always creates pure water. But if it's a gravity flow, so if it slows down just a little bit, you just take the water filter and reverse it, use some of the pure water it created, and then turn it back around and use it again. With that said, now it's a filter that has a lifetime guarantee because you can do that. You don't need to have any filter in the future. And then the third thing that makes a difference, it will do up to 150 gallons per day. So even if you were in a total disaster and had a lot of people that didn't have water, that would mean you could help as many as 300 people have a half gallon of pure water every day, no matter how long an emergency lasts, or even if there isn't an emergency as well. So that's what it is. That's what it does. And what we do here in the United States is we actually take and ship it to you, shipping included. So again, when it comes to you, you have the filter, you have the adapter kit, you have the 5 gallon container, you have the hose, you have the backwash system. Everything's in place. You bring it into your home 10 minutes from the time you get it there. You can use it every day, or if you want to just use it for an emergency, you could store it in a place where you always have access to it. Never be without water for the rest of your life. Never be without pure water for the rest of your life.
You made a point that I think is so very important there, Mark, and it is the truest statement that I think anybody's ever said on any of our shows. And even a 5-year-old could do this because it is very simple. You fill up a bucket full of water. You just saw in the video before we came on to the live interview where a gentleman just takes and he pulls water out of a river in your
Right.
area. He just pulled it out of the river right there and set it on a picnic table, opened the cap, grabbed let the hose drop, put a glass of water underneath it, it filled it up. That's all there is to this. There's no tricks. There's no, you don't take and click your heels and spin around 3 times and say some magical chant. It is as easy as filling it up and letting it run through the system. I mean, it is truly, truly simple. And like I said, I know my wife uses it at least twice a week because she fills up the 2 5-gallon waters that we have, one in her office and one down here in our little living space. So, Mark, one of the things, and this is a compliment to you, and I hope you take it as that, but there has never been somebody that I have talked to that shows in their face how much joy they get out of what they do. You truly care about water and getting people the water that they need. Why?
Well, it's so strong. Whenever I came to the place to realize everybody needs pure water, and this could be my mission to actually help everybody have pure water for life. There's nothing that makes you have greater joy. And there's two things that will relate to that as well, Zach. For example, what I found out you mentioned this in a different way earlier, but you can take and decide everybody that I care about that if there was ever an emergency, you can take and say, okay, I want to give one to this charity or this person or this entity or my family or my friend. All you have to do is say, who you want the filter to go to, give us their shipping address, and we take care of everything else. So with that being said, you never have to worry about anything. And then another thing that makes me love what we're doing, we recently had some orphanages in Uganda, and a picture of a little girl that we got a video of. The first time she had pure water to drink, you could see her pitch it up and say, "Ah, there's nothing that touches you better."
Yeah, and it is, and we say this quite often, and it's not like this is a secret. Anytime that we have videos or somebody who supports the kids in Africa, life is something that we live here in America, and we're used to being able to go to the faucet and get decent water. It's not always the greatest stuff in the world, but it's
Mhm.
decent. These kids are drinking water that is dirty,
Right.
and it's the same water that they a lot of times bathe in, or their animals get the drinks from, and the water's just disgusting. None of us would like to drink it, and I don't see why we should think anybody else should do it. So you can take and help us. And that's where I was going with the comment, that if you don't have somewhere that you would like to take and put that, in which, come on, you know, you got to have a relative or something. But I know, Mark, you would greatly appreciate it if you would give us a chance to take and dedicate that in your name to someone else. Take and deliver
Absolutely.
this to someone. If you wanted to go to a veterans housing unit, we can get it there. Animal shelters, we can get it there.
Right.
Because our animals shouldn't be drinking crappy water either. Look, I mean, you're talking to a guy here with 5 dogs, a
Wow.
cat, a bird, and tons of fish. Okay. Ooh, this is the first time I've had to go through that list without talking about my dearly departed spider. So, but yeah, I mean, it's really, really a great program, and Mark, we greatly appreciate you allowing us to have that special for people. Um, what are I would like to know from you, Mark, what's the end goal by the time your days are done with this company? What do you want to see?
Well, first of all, one of the things I said the first of this year, that we want to see over 1 million people have pure water for life in 2026. That's number one. Secondly, and I mentioned this before, I'll just mention it in a short way, Zach. When I was 16 years of age, I had a strong impression I would have something in my life that would change a lot of lives. I didn't know what that meant as a 16-year-old kid. But when I got to the place where I have this in mind and I knew that this was what I was supposed to do, and this was going to do the things that it could do, I had a vision while I was sitting right here where I'm talking to you right now. I wasn't on a mountain, but it was as if I was as high on a mountain as I could be, and as far as I could see millions of people coming forward saying, "Thank you, thank you, thank you." And I wondered, what is this? And it came to me, this is your mission, that you're going to help millions of people have water for life. And our nonprofit entity, our 501c3, is UA Legacy Grants, to now have a legacy for millions of people to have pure water and be able to hand this to those that care to actually continue that even after I'm gone.
Oh, Mark, I love you, man. I love your mission. I love everything that you're doing. Before we go, I'm going to take you back to the beginning. You told us a story yesterday, and you've told it to me before, but I think it is such a heartwarming story. Tell us about your first uh, engagement with all of this, with you and your dad.
Okay. Yes, I was raised in a parsonage. My dad was a pastor, and I have 10 siblings. I was the middle child, and I walked up to my dad one Sunday afternoon and I said, "Daddy, I'm supposed to preach tonight." And he, after a while, persistent 4-year-old, he said, "Okay." So he put a chair behind the pulpit I climbed up on the chair and preached for 19 minutes on the Ten Commandments. When I got finished, he said, "Well, I was planning on preaching after this, but I think that's what was supposed to happen tonight." And that has lived. Bottom line, I think what that was is, as a 4-year old, I couldn't do that on my own. I have children, 5 children, 10 grandchildren, and 9 great grandchildren, another one on the way. I don't know of a 4-year old that I know that has done that, so I don't take full credit for that. I feel like that was a divine touch to let me know you have a purpose in life, and I'm going to let you know early.
Mark, I love that story. I truly, truly do love that story. Again, my friend, my dear friend, I do love you. I love everything that you're doing. Look, you can get a hold of Mark, okay? And I suggest you get a hold of Mark. Have a conversation with the man. Just talk about what his goal is. If anybody is looking to maybe donate a little bit of extra money, I know tax season's coming to an end. If you've got to write one of those checks to save yourself a little bit of money on taxes, Mark in his 501c, that would be a great place to go. But you can get a hold of Mark. All of his information is at the QR code above me. That'll take you to his landing page on our site. All of his contact information is there. Once again, you can shop with Mark. You can purchase 2 of these units for a special rate of $200, and that $5 and we will get a $5 referral from Mark, and 75% of that is going to go to someone that you choose. Plus, you'll have an emergency system that you get to give to someone you love, or you can give it back to us, and we will make sure it gets somewhere in your name to someone who desperately needs that water. So, Mark, is there anything anybody can do for you today?
The biggest thing is to share the good news with others that have a mission, and a lot of people care about this. They just don't realize or know about it. So share the good news where they can actually know it. The other thing, if you have those that have financial ability that they really want to help, and I think that I just want to mention as well, we're working, which we mentioned with you to you yesterday, Zach. We're working with a refugee camp in Kenya, 300,000 people in that refugee camp, no pure water. And what we're doing is raising funds right now, $100,000, to be able to have 1,000 filters to put into that refugee camp. Each of those filters have the ability to help up to 300 people. That doesn't mean that all 300,000 will be served because they're scattered, but that's the start of a journey. And we're starting first with the $10,000 for 100 filters, and then 100,000 for 1,000 filters, where we can literally change the lives of people in that. And this is a model to do that all around the world. Zach, there are some refugee camps with 1 million people in them,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
we're here to help them all.
Hey, you know what? You can't get you can't help everyone until you start with the first one, right? So
Right,
let's get
exactly.
this let's get this going. This is one of the vital things that you need. Look, you need water.
Right,
Yeah, it's everyone needs water. Everyone deserves water. I mean, this ball that we live on, this rock that we live on, is covered with a lot of water, and there are so many people who don't have access to clean water, and it shouldn't be that way. Not when there's a wonderful, inexpensive, inexpensive way to make sure everybody has clean, safer, cleaner water. Mark, before I let you go, you also have a filtration system that hooks up directly to your sink.
yes.
So,
Yes, we have two. It's a tap filter, which will connect to your sink, or a pitcher filter that you can get for daily use. And each of those do the same thing as far as the quality of water that for your home. And those have to be replaced. The filters have to be replaced, but you can do 2,000 gallons before you have to replace the filter. So if you use the filter like the pitcher filter for one person, it would be 10 years before you needed to buy another filter. It's 3 to 5 years for a family. So those are just there to help those that have it and desire to have it. Also, I just want to mention I'd love to have a Zoom with anybody that has a desire, no matter who you are, what your thoughts are, I'm happy to talk to you. There's something about it when you actually talk through what we're doing and the mission and the passion that we have. You actually, almost every time, we come together with that same unity of understanding what we're doing is something special. Besides the 4 years of age thing that we shared, when I was 16, I had a strong impression that I would have something like this. I didn't know what it meant, that I'd help a lot of people. But all the things that happened from that time till now, and I'm 74 now, all the things that happened from that time till the time that we were able to bring this to place and reality is like stair step that brought us to this place. It's an awesome journey. We're thank you that you're on the journey with us, and we welcome everybody else to desires the same thing.
One more time, scan the QR code above my head, and that'll take you directly to all the information that you need with Mark. If you would like an introduction, just get a hold of me. I will happily introduce you to Mark. One of our great partners that you can also get a hold of is Alan Holmes. And Alan Holmes is another ambassador for Safer, Cleaner Water. He's a wonderful, wonderful human being. So get a hold of Alan and he'll set you up as well. So, Mark, thank you, sir. Keep up the good work, and we will talk to you again soon. I do appreciate everything that you're doing, and good luck on everything that you have going on.
Thank you, Zach, and thank you for what you do. We appreciate it. Keep
Not a,
paying it forward. Bless you.
not a problem. Not a
Okay.
problem. Thank you.
I've always wanted.
Why did I start Z-World Cares? Z-World Cares came with the idea of showcasing that we all care. What better way to show Z-World that you care while showcasing other nonprofits who want to show that they care as well? Now, I understand there are websites out there and platforms that showcase the amazing things that these nonprofits are doing, but it requires a sign-in, a paid subscription. So I wanted to remove the barrier when it comes to showcasing the greatness that these nonprofits are doing while showing they care and you care, while showing Z-World that you care. What is Z-World Cares? Z-World Cares is a nonprofit directory that empowers nonprofit organizations to accept donations, attract volunteers, fundraise with charitable sponsors, and of course, assist with nonprofit organizations with showcasing their mission or missions to Z-World at no charge while showing Z-World that you care. Where is Z-World Cares headed? We hope to continue our partnership with the Community Pay It Forward and their mission to not only support nonprofits, but also their mission to showcase their mission to help small businesses, families, and of course nonprofits And with our combined efforts, or should I say our philanthropic efforts, to make Z World a better place, we're headed in the right direction with the Community Pay It Forward program, where no one ever feels alone. How can Z World Cares pay it forward today for a better tomorrow? Well, I definitely want to start by saying to continue our power partnership with the Community Pay It Forward program, and of course the Community Giving Partner program as well. And that's only the foundation of showing Z World that you care. We want to expand the reach of other nonprofits who want to bring awareness to their altruistic causes, such as bringing more awareness to our ignored veterans, assisting survivors of human trafficking, and of course, helping our planet heal itself with the environmental damages it's been succumbing to, restoring our animal kingdom, bringing more research, medical research, cancer research, whether it's Alzheimer's, dementia, and many other diseases that are out there. And of course, I do want to mention the Americans with Disabilities Act and other disability acts all over the world. And of course, speaking of Z World, showing more awareness to show Z World that you care.
Hello world, my name is Z, or you can call me Mr. Z. I am a web developer, and I am also a consultant at Z World Webs. My one goal is to develop custom websites that are specifically catered to your organization's needs. I completely understand that building a website is an exhilarating, exciting, and significant step in connecting with your audience. Your organization has Z potential to make a meaningful impact, whether it's supporting animal rights, advocating for equality, combating human trafficking, or honoring the brave individuals who have served our country. Your mission is too important to be held back by the challenges a website can present. And I am here to ensure that your website works for you, not against you. Whether it's maintaining, developing, or redeveloping a custom website that is specifically catered to your needs. And with that being said, I would be more than delighted to learn more about your organization and, of course, develop a website Z World is waiting for.
You know that moment when you take and you turn on the microphone and you're sitting there, you're thinking everything's okay, and all of a sudden you get that, oh my God, I got a sneeze itch, and you're like fingers hovering over the button. Yeah, just kind of happened. Mark Miller, I appreciate him coming on. I appreciate him sharing his story. Look, the guy's wonderful. And I was dead serious about that. I have never in my life seen anybody get as enthusiastic and as positive and have as much hope when it comes to sharing something that he does about fresh, clean, safer, cleaner water. And I appreciate that he has helped us create this package to where you can buy one of those units and get one for free. And I am not joking. My wife uses that thing 2 times a week. We got one, and my wife uses it 2 times a week, swears by it. We will not buy the filtered water anymore. We don't need it. She's tested this to the filtered water, and it comes out just as, if not cleaner. Why would we go and get it any different? Why are we going to pay for it when we've got it? And it's also nice to know that if something like the floods were to happen again, look, if the drinking water ever goes down, folks, we're in trouble. we're in a lot of trouble. And this is coming from a guy, and I am not joking about this. I drank less than probably 2 gallons of water last year. I drink water if I get the hiccups. It's about it. It's truly about it. My wife has got me drinking Propel, which is a good start. Maybe I wouldn't have the kidney stones if I would drink a little more water. I know. I hear it all the time. But hey, we all got our things. My next guest. Oh, before I go on, please. And I'm working on a new video right now, so you're going to see a ton about it. But remember, we've got this going on. I cannot tell you how cool that book set is. We are so excited. We ended up picking one up for ourselves just because Adrian's got the crystal room and that she's put together upstairs, and that's just going to look so cool in there. And I'm excited to get the books because it is about neurodivergent and different things, and I really think it could be very helpful for me going through what I go through on a day-to-day basis. So look, it's a magical, powerful book that is a non-linear adventure through the non-divergent identity, memory, grief, and power. It's filled with fragmented stories, memorable quotes, paradoxical poetry, and the invisible algorithms of desire that shape us all. Boy, that's hard to say. It honors the truth that one size does not fit all, and that's something that we've been saying for years. It meets every reader exactly where they are. It's written for dreamers, the pattern matchers, the overthinkers. Okay, let me try this again. It's written for dreamers, the pattern matchers, the overthinkers, and the burned but still burning souls who live by their own code. So if you're interested at all, it's available on Amazon, or you can simply try to win it by donating as little as $5 using the QR code above, because we're going to give one copy of that away on May 16th. So please join us. Please help support us. All money goes to, well, first off, sending it to you. And second off, goes to the Come Together Compass. What is the Come Together Compass? Well, maybe this will help.
Life hits fast. Crisis doesn't wait. And too many families face hardship alone. But what if one community, one movement, could guide people from crisis to stability and finally home? The Come Together Compass was created for one reason. No one should face hardship alone. Families are overwhelmed. Nonprofits are stretched thin. Businesses want to help but don't know where to start. Resources exist, but they're scattered, confusing, and hard to access. The purpose of the Come Together Compass is simple: to guide people from crisis to stability by uniting the community around them. The compass removes confusion, connects families to real help, gives businesses a meaningful way to give back, and builds a culture where compassion is the norm. At the heart of the compass is a belief. When we work together, we guide people home. Home isn't just a place. It's safety. It's support. It's knowing someone cares enough to walk with you through the storm. The North Pillar is physical needs, providing real, immediate help. Food, clothing, household essentials, transportation, emergency resources. When crisis hits, people don't need a maze. They need a map. The compass gives them a clear path to support. The East Pillar is emotional needs, because hardship isn't just physical. People need connection, encouragement, and strength. The compass offers peer support, check-ins, and mental wellness resources. Help that feels human, not transactional. The South Pillar is community connection, building long-term stability. The compass links families to nonprofits, business partners, volunteers, and community events. This is how crisis becomes stability, and stability becomes empowerment. And the West Pillar is the promise of the compass, the commitment that no one will be left behind. Every family will be met with dignity. Every partner will be valued. Every act of kindness will guide someone closer to home. The compass serves families and individuals facing hardship, nonprofits who want to collaborate, businesses who want to give back, donors and volunteers who want to make a real impact. The compass matters because people are struggling silently, because resources are scattered, because good people want to help but don't know where to start, because community should mean something. This is more than a program. It is a beacon, a guide, a promise. Join the movement, support a family, partner with the compass. Help us guide people home.
So we needed to take a minute and bring on our next guest, because when she comes on every month, we're so busy trying to get people to come on and join us so she can give readings. And I'm not sure if everybody really understands all she can do for you. So I wanted to go on ahead and at this time ask Lynn Sobolski to come on and join us and tell us a little bit more about Footnotes Tarot. So please welcome Lynn Sobolski. Lynn, how are you doing today?
Hi, Zach. I'm doing very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing okay. We're just chugging through, trying to get, as weird as it sounds, trying to get the new year started, and trying to really get people to understand what the family does together, and give people a chance to understand exactly what everyone does and how everyone fits. And like I was saying just a moment ago, we don't have a lot of time to explain all the ins and outs of tarot to everybody when we're on our regular show, which is the third Wednesday of every month at 8 p.m. East, known as Lynn's Day. So I wanted to go on ahead and bring this up and ask you a couple questions about, what is tarot, and who are the people who enjoy tarot, and what are some of the different things that, like, people who have never experienced it before, what can they experience from this unique style?
I love this line of questioning, Zach. I get it in different versions. um, so I realize tarot reading is kind of one of those, woo, what is that sort of topics. And if it makes you feel any better, I've actually not done a good job explaining what is tarot to my own friends and family. So I'm happy to have this opportunity, because I'm just going to pass this video along. So the actual tarot deck is a deck of cards. It's got 22 more cards in addition to a standard poker deck. And like a standard poker deck, you have 4 suits. You have, kings and queens and jacks. All of the numbers have a different meaning. The suits have a different meaning. The characters have a different meaning. And that's the traditional tarot that has been passed down. If you get a book that says how to read tarot, those are the types of things that you learn. So that's one layer of a tarot reading, where you don't need any sort of magical powers or intuition. You can literally just draw a card and look in a book and say, oh, it means that. And for a lot of people, they find that resonates. They find that if they pull a card in the morning, they say, wow, that really made sense for what's going on today or what's going on in my life. How does that work? I don't know. And that's what's cool and interesting and mysterious about tarot. And other forms of divination. So we talked about the traditional meanings of tarot cards. On top of that, whatever artist designed the tarot deck that you're working with has their own interpretation and their own feelings and waves of inspiration around that, and it comes through in their artwork. And so there's also the aspect of sitting down with the client and just looking at these really pretty cards. And again, sometimes something will come up through that artwork that really resonates with the client, that resonates with me. And so there's that secondary layer of meaning now that these tarot cards have. The third layer, and the one that I think probably gets the most attention, is the intuitive layer, aka the psychic stuff. And we don't know exactly how that works. What we do know is that it is possible for two people or more to sit together and through a tarot reading have subject matter come up that one person couldn't have known about the other person. And if you're doing a reading, the cards often tell a story, or they lead to a conclusion, or they ask the sitter to do some deeper introspection. So as to your question of who can benefit from a tarot reading, who would enjoy a tarot reading without sounding like cliche and overly optimistic, everybody can enjoy a tarot reading. It's true though, because it's an area where people don't have a lot of information. They don't have a lot of direct experience. And so just being able to, indulge the curiosity and scratch that itch and find out what is this more about. There are some people who will go into that experience and they're just so excited to be doing it that it doesn't matter if they believe in it, if they don't believe in it, if they have a good experience, a bad experience, because they just came out with a story to tell and a little mini adventure that they went on. That's the most casual, happy version. Then there's the version where people find their deeply personal, deeply emotional issues and people in their life and experiences they've gone through, where things like that unfold in the reading. And suddenly the tarot card reading becomes more akin to a therapy session where I'm providing a safe space and saying, hey, let's engage deeply with what has come up here. And we know that people who have certain mental health issues, who experience PTSD and anxiety and depression, their brains are working differently. And science shows that when that group of people has an experience that is spiritual or magical or mystical, and for that one moment they say, wow, there's something else out there beyond me, more than this, that moment alone can be the catalyst to spark long-term healing, because it shifts the entire way they see themselves and the world that they're in. And so it can get really profound. And a lot of times I'm doing this, Zach, at like a party.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I know one of the things that I find so very interesting about it is we'll be we'll be together and you'll be making a reading, and the memory of my family means a lot to me. And you can say things that just remind me of the way that they used to say things, they used to talk, and it is kind of a I don't take I don't take it too serious, but then again, I don't take a lot of things serious a lot of times. Okay, when I talk to people who are actual counselors, I take what they say, but you know what? I don't make that my, that's not plastered in stone, because I have to work still on the way things go. And if you just take what if something that somebody says and you just let it go at that, well, you know, without work, nothing comes true. So I do like the spiritual tie-in to what you do. You gave me a reading on the March version, and we talked about how important family was to me. And that was just something that, it really tied in. It was really kind of cool. I can't understand it. I don't understand why, but I mean, it is very, very important to me that my family does tie into everything that we do. Um, you mentioned the suits, you mentioned everything. Does like the seven of staffs, does that mean the same for everyone?
Probably not.
Okay. And how do you decipher what the seven of staffs means for one person and then for another person?
I think it just has a lot to do with what comes up in our personal readings. I remember when I was teaching myself tarot, I literally had like a $10 handbook and I was just kind of flipping through pages and looking at cards. And what came up for me with each card was some type of life experience I had already had. I would pull the Seven of Rods and it would be, oh, my friend went through a situation like this. I saw a movie where the characters had this situation. I read a book where this happened. And suddenly each card is a collection of all of your life experiences, your lived and the things that you've taken in. And that is just an enormous amount of potential energy to be tethered to. And so when a tarot reading is happening, however it works, whatever the energy is that is outside the reader and the sitter, if we think about what we are carrying in our personal energy field, our whole lived experience and all of our feelings that go with it, if we are asking something else out there to communicate with us, what it or they can use is what we are already carrying. It's if you think about all of your life experiences as like a letter or a picture that communicates a message. Over time, certain cards, again and again, for whatever reason, seem to indicate similar situations. So for me, I have a card that when I pull, it means somebody's moving, they're changing apartments. Well, I'm reading in New York City. Everybody is moving and changing apartments. If I was doing this reading where I was born in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, people aren't trying to move around that much. So that particular card just may not come up very frequently at all, and I may not develop as strong a relationship to it.
What what do you do if you just have a bad feeling about something and you're in a party situation? Okay, I know you're not going to just sit there and tell somebody, "Hey, I don't think I'd walk home alone if I were you." Ha ha ha. You know, how do you deal with something that could be sensitive to somebody, or you have a strong, strong feeling that you want to tell somebody, "Look, this is what the cards are telling me. This is what the spirits are telling me. I just want to tell you, be careful."
Hmm.
How do you go about doing something like that?
It certainly depends on the situation. There's a lot more leeway, in a one-on-one reading or a small group versus a big party. Certainly depends on what the topic is. If it's something like an illness or a death, those are things you don't want to mention because, like, I'm just a tarot reader. I could be wrong. It's not an exact
Yeah,
science.
yeah.
You want to send somebody away thinking the hammer's coming down when maybe it's not. I mean, to me personally, that's like first and foremost, you have to be thinking about, you know, how is the person entering and leaving that session, and they should be at least as good, if not in a better place. But to your question, yeah, sometimes things come up that are really sensitive. In general, I try to steer the person toward people and resources that will be helpful if that thing occurs. Sometimes, if the person I'm reading for is intuitive enough themselves, sometimes they know. Sometimes I don't even have to go that far in, and they go, okay, we know where this is headed. Um, Money is a topic that I have to be very careful about because, the fortune telling is illegal. I can't say, well, the cards
Yeah.
play the lottery and all that. And everyone thinks that like we can just pull the lottery numbers out of thin air. I don't know anyone who can do that. So, um, but for example, I remember one of the last readings that I did before the pandemic. I was at this really upscale social club where, all of the people were just, thousands and thousands of dollars just to have an annual membership to this place. And somehow I got this gig. So I'm doing readings for people, and all of the readings are coming up like very heavily money centered because that's what these people do. And the last reading I did was for a gentleman, and the reading showed him losing money. It showed, and I said to him, "Hey, this is the area where I have to be careful. I feel really strongly about what's in this reading, and I'm going to tell you what it says, but you need to put things in perspective. I'm a stranger with a deck of cards,
Yeah.
that knows nothing about you. So as you move forward," and the reading was showing like his business partner drinking like during the day and then making really poor decisions. And he's going, that doesn't sound like this person at all. But of course, we know during the pandemic, lots of people were day drinking and going through their own, stuff. And those are the kind of things that were happening, and the money markets and everything else. But again, outside my wheelhouse, I'm just saying, hey, here's what's coming up in the reading. If, as you're going forward, some of these things start to resonate or you start to notice some similarities, maybe just take that under consideration. And, you know, even when it comes to things like people's personal safety, I can certainly say, hey, let me just tell you, human being to human being, I see something here. It doesn't give me a good feeling. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm trying to tell you to pay attention. There are ways you can, kind of overcome the strangeness of the situation and communicate the danger or the warning. But it's tricky. And
Yeah, and you already mentioned that you really got to be careful, and you got to be ethical. It's like one of the things that, I know that in our world of like trying to raise money, the word raffle is a terrible word to use. Raffle just gets IRS's antennas going. Ooh. So we try to stay away from the word raffle, and drawing is a nicer word that we use all the time. But what are some of the other things that people ask you to do every once in a while, and you're just like going, nope, sorry.
um, one of the things that constantly surprises me, and makes me feel a little sad inside, but then happy I saw someone, is when somebody says, hey, um, I went to another reader and they told me that I have some entity attached to me. I have some evil spirit that's floating around. And, you know, I believe things like this are theoretically possible. I also believe they're pretty rare. And more often than not, what I see is the result of someone who is just trying to manipulate somebody and fearmonger and get more money out of them, taking advantage of a, sensitive situation. So there's that. The most gratifying request is when somebody says, hey, can I talk to you about some experiences that I've had that I think might have been psychic? Or, maybe there's a ghost living in my house and this is why I think that. Because people have so few ways to talk about those things and still be taken
Yeah.
as a serious adult in the world. Especially if you're in some type of community where everybody knows everybody, like who are you going to ask? That's not going to be like, oh, let me tell you what I talked to so and so about the other day. And same thing with a reading too. Like I'm going to get this reading, but if this person knows everyone that I know, are they going to talk about me? Are they going to talk about what was said? So people have valid questions for sure.
Well, I know that I've got a really good friend who's also a tarot reader who um, she wants to stay away from like conjuring. Yeah, you know, conjuring is in certain circles, and I don't know what your belief on conjuring is, but it could be seen as dangerous. And there's a lot of times that you can be putting stuff into somebody's head that, you know, if you do this, there's a potential on danger to them because of what they believe can happen. I know a lot of times where there's talk of portals and spirits and stuff like this. A lot of time that's people talking themselves into, oh my God, something has me possessed. And, you know, so you really got to be careful on what you do. And I know, and there are just certain things that, you know, people want to play around with, and, and it's just, it's kind of dangerous, isn't it?
I mean, Catholic grade school, high school, and college. So, I am not necessarily one who's going to move toward conjuring. I will say this. Um, as a human being, I am in almost a constant state of prayer. From the moment I wake up, all throughout the day, I pray and I try to send good energy at like everyone and everything. If I'm sitting on the train, I'm like sending prayers to the people on the train. If I'm walking down the street, I'm praying for the people on the street. If I'm going into a tarot session, I'm saying, please, whatever and whoever is out there, let these readings be true and accurate and full of compassion and love and healing, and give something of value to this person. Let it come through me. It's, because it doesn't come from me at all. I mean, 5-10 minutes after a reading, I have no idea what happened or what came up. It just, goes right through. And so for me, that is a constant state of connectedness. And my personal belief is that I think that shields me from whatever potential negative energies could be out there. I think the fact that I have spent so long and it's such a focus to surround myself with that which is, divine and of love and holy. Um, you know, Other people live their lives differently. And I think, to your point with the conjuring, some people look at divination as a power trip. Some people come to this sort of thing because they felt marginalized at some point. They felt like they were powerless. They felt like they didn't have enough authority. And so, hey, I'm going to, become a master of divination. And now I have the power to tell people what's going to happen in their life. Now they have to come to me to find that out. And then it goes down a road, and the next thing is, well, there's this old book that somebody I know and trust says you can say these, chants with an herb and some fire and, whatever, and conjure this thing that will do my bidding. And now I'm even more powerful. I mean, there is a path that some people go down that does lead them to a dark place where I feel like they really are dealing with some dark energies. But that's a series of choices, and choices that were made when somebody was in a depressed or anxious or angry, fearful state. And that's never the state you want to be in when you're entering an energetic space and saying, I am going to be open to what's here. You want to be sending a vibe like similar to what you want to receive.
My musical hero. Okay, a guy I've grown up my entire life. He's been like the musical god in my life. He does not play a song that he wrote when he was a kid because it is an actual conjuring. Okay, and he will no longer perform that song live, and he tries to hide that song as much as he can because there is actually conjuring in the song. So it is prototypical metal that this is one that, oh my God, there's satanic messages in it. Well, this one, it's pretty damn close. So,
There's
but
something to all the stereotypes. I mean, that's why we have them. It doesn't mean they're all
yeah,
true. It just means that sometimes they're true.
yeah, yeah, that's true. Um, I appreciate this, Lynn. I appreciate you clarifying, and I also just appreciate being able to sit down and talk to you as we're not trying to, uh, freak other people out. It's kind of neat. We don't try to freak other people out. It does happen, though. You got to admit, I love the reactions of a lot of people when they do get their readings. Remember, you can get a free online reading if you join us the third Wednesday of every month at 8 o'clock p.m. East, right here on one of the PACT channels. Lynn joins us for Lynn's Day, and come on, and you can either, if you want to join us live, send a request asking us for the link. I'll send you the link. If you just want to take and put it in the chat, please do that. But join us live every third Wednesday for Lynn's Day and get a free reading. Lynn, before I cut you loose, is there anything that you would like people to know about what you do? And next time that we do talk on Lynn's Day, I do actually want to bring up more of the prayer thing, because I think that is so uh, uh, that needs to be explained. Okay, and Adrienne talks to me about this all the time, that she she practices Wiccan. That does not mean she's Satanist. She also is a Christian. So she's a hell of a lot more Christian than I am. Let's put it that way. She truly is. And, but I think that is one of the places that we need to talk about maybe on Lynn's Day, is we'll go into, the difference between, um, uh, believing in one thing as opposed to believing in everything when it comes to that.
Love it.
So, is there anything else that you would like to tell people before I let you go?
Just other than, yes, please come to Lynn's Day. I would love to read for you. I just want to reassure people, if there are, certain topics that you don't want brought up or things that are sensitive, we have a chat function. You can send us a note
Yep.
backstage. And again, yeah, I understand that we are in a live setting, and I will tailor my readings appropriately.
Well, I know that, like I said, everyone we have talked to has been just, they've loved the energy, they've loved the passion, and they've just had fun with it. They've heard some really good news. I know that you inspire people, and you are one of the reasons why I love the fact that we're doing what we're doing with Community Pay It Forward. People talk to you and they brighten up, and that's wonderful, because that's what we want to see happen. So having you as part of the family is something that is very, very special to me. And you can get a hold of Lynn by scanning the QR code above my head. Okay, if you would like an introduction to this wonderful woman, just get a hold of me. I can do that very simply by email. I can get a hold of you. I can connect you, and you guys can have a conversation. Anytime you get a reading from Lynn, she will donate a portion of that to us, that we will give to a somebody who has asked us for help, and you get to choose who that goes to. So uh, have a lot of fun with this. I guess I don't want to say don't take it too serious, but don't take it too serious. It is what it is, which is fun, and it's exciting, and it's a great way to direct you. Is that a good way to put this? Direct your life?
Inspire.
Inspire. There you go. That's perfect. So, but Lynn Cebulski from Footnotes Tarot, thank you, sweetheart. I greatly appreciate it. I love having you on. I love having you as a partner. I love having you as a dear friend. So thank you for everything that you do.
Right back at you, Zach. I love you. I love the show. I love being here. Everything about this is just so wonderful.
Well, Again, if you want to talk to her, simply ask me to introduce you. I will introduce you, and you will not be sorry. Every Friday, people across the country put on red for one reason: to honor the women and men who left the comfort of home so we can live freely. These shirts are not about politics. They are not about a war. They are not about religion. They are about gratitude. They are about respect. They are about remembering everyone deployed. When you purchase one, you help us launch the Come Together Compass, a program built to guide families and heroes to the support that they need. Wear your pride. Wear your gratitude. Support Red Friday. Remember everyone deployed. Well, that's it for week 2 of the new season of Footprints Forward. I want to thank everybody for joining us today. And how did that light come back on? Oh, that's the problem with the electronic lights. They just come on their own. Has that light been on the whole time? Oh, I guess I'll have to watch back and see. I don't remember wanting it on, but I claim head injury. That's the reason why I need to get Aaron Anatavi's book, If and Then. And again, you can win that book simply by joining us and donating using this code right now. You can win the book that in question, If and Then, by Aaron Anatavi, or this wonderful, wonderful fleece-lined blanket from Dignified Dementia. Again, all this money is going to the Come Together Compass. Please donate $5, $10, $20, whatever you can. Also, please share this video with everyone that you know. Look, we're trying to make a difference. We're trying to talk to the difference makers. We want to get people to come on in to the Come Together Compass to make a difference. We want people to join the Community Pay It Forward family because we want to make a difference. We want you to shop with our partners because we want to make a difference. It's one of the great reasons why I've got such a fun partner with Things Network. Thank you, Things Network, for allowing me to broadcast every Monday morning right here on Things Network. I appreciate that so very much. So, don't know who our guest is going to be yet this week, next week. So, one of these days I'll get busy on that and I'll know ahead of time. But until then, folks, please make sure you love somebody out there because somebody out here loves you. Nobody needs to be alone. We can all help each other. If you're not helping someone, you're hurting everyone. Okay? And look, one last thing I need to say to everyone is please never shut up. Your story can change someone's life. There are people out there who are struggling with things that you've already went through things that you are going through. There's people out there with words of encouragement that can get you past what you're going through. If you talk about it, if you let people in, we can let the healing out. We can let the healing begin. We can make the movement move. Join us. Community Pay It Forward. Come Together Compass. pACT Podcasting Network. Right here every Monday, every Wednesday. And starting tomorrow night, we've got Story Time with Santa. We're rebroadcasting a lot of his stories. He does it at the same time we do Footprints Forward. I don't want to, I'm sorry, the same time we do Community Impact. We're working on maybe moving days, but I need to make sure that everything's in line to do that. But for right now, we're going to play Santa Stories. So Santa Stories Making an Impact starts tomorrow night at 6 p.m. East, right here on the pACT channels. We've got more changes coming, folks. If you want to be involved, get a hold of me. Reach out to me today. Until then, please donate, please like, please share, hit the little buttons below, subscribe, comment. Comment. Give us a thumbs up. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much. My name is Zach Clayton, President and Founder, Community Pay It Forward. Community. Damn it. There would have been one of those shock things. Come Together Compass and the pACT Network, pACT Podcasting Networks. We'll see you next week.